Hey guys, James here again. This is going to be what if Goku was the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior, I mean, like, Goku would be more of an advanced battle prodigy, like, more than he was in canon. Like, his power level would grow excessively. He'd already have a high power level at birth. Basically, everything related to battle, Goku would be surpassing. So, birth Goku's power level is going to be 5,000. Now, Goku's power level plus Bardock's already high power level. They are already promoted to being elites. Goku's power level already does spark some worries in King Vegeta, but since he's not surpassing the Prince yet, he allows Goku to stay. But they are under close watch. Goku has photographic memory. He can already sense ki. He has advanced muscle memory. The point where, like, by advanced I mean like if you hit him once, due to his body being very sensitive to like just any kind of movement plus ki sensory, his ki sensory kind of advances to being just normal sensing. He's already able to pick up every single muscle movement in your body in that blow, so he can copy it perfectly. And if he chooses to, he can make it even stronger. That's his advanced muscle memory, plus photographic memory, so he can remember how the muscles moved exactly. And Goku, due to him kind of memorizing everything, like he memorized every single thing, so that would include I'd say that probably would include like everything he had when he was in a pod. And he's also able to memorize words perfectly, so kind of just audio memory. So now with this, Goku, by the time he's 1 year old, can already speak perfectly. He can walking around, and he's already able to train with his older brother, Raditz. Now, he can't train hard because he's 1 year old, but he's already able to train somewhat. And he's already able to transform into a great ape, which is very concerning for some people, but still 50,000 as a power level, Bardock can turn into a master great ape and take him down. Same as a lot of other... Not a lot, just a few other elites. So yeah, now with this, basically, Goku would master Great Ape in minutes, which shocks Bardock. But then again, Goku is an elite now. And Raditz does train with his dad and brother a lot, and Raditz is actually able to gain control over his Great Ape form as well. Then Goku, when he's 2 years old, already asks his dad if there's a way to incorporate Great Ape into his normal form. So Bardock is very curious about himself, so is Raditz. So for 1 year, they began trying to just do this whole pet project by mastering their tails. Well, Raditz and Goku mainly. Bardock already did so. But they're able to figure this out 1 month before Planet Vegeta's destruction. Raditz's power level alone, by trying to master Great Ape into his base form, is at 2,000 in his base. Goku is now at 7,000, and... Let's say 7,000, because I'd say around 8,000 in total. 8, 9,000. I'll settle on 9. So he's at 9,000. And then at 9,000, we would also have, Bardock, who is at 30,000. Because, he goes on missions constantly, and plus his sons are strong individually. So Zenkai boosts are definite. Well, mainly for Goku, Zenkai boosts are definite. And Raditz has had 1 or 2 Zenkais, so, yeah. And due to him already being strong and constantly training with other Saiyans, and just Vegeta training with Saiyans is actually a way to get stronger really fast. So, due to Vegeta thinking Raditz is strong in his own right, him and Raditz train constantly, and that erases the bullying that would happen with Raditz. Raditz is never being bullied. Plus, Raditz actually wanted to bring Nappa to meet his family, because Nappa would question who his family is, because Raditz is constantly on missions, doesn't really talk about his family. Then Nappa does meet the family. He wants to see if Raditz's low-class family is strong, but starts seeing his brother and dad are elites. And Nappa is shocked to see who his dad is, the great hero of Planet Vegeta, Bardock. Bardock has gone on tons of more missions due to him being stronger, and he's even surpassed Frieza's guards, which is, so to say, an impressive feat. And while Raditz can surpass Nappa and Vegeta himself, he just doesn't do so, because he has Ikari, so is Bardock, and so is Goku. Gine even has it as a failsafe, because she mastered Great Ape herself as well. Gine in base form is at 700. Then, if she were to power up, she can go to 7,000, and with Ikari. And, Bardock at full power, with 30,000 being his base, he's already able to surpass Zarbon at full power, and surpass Midori no matter what. His power level at full force can be 300,000, not as much as Frieza, but still pretty strong. Now, when Bardock does ship off Goku off Planet Vegeta, Frieza still try to fire that giant death beam, but we'd see Bardock holding it back as much as possible, and using Ikari. We see Gine power up to Great Ape form, and humans holding it back with her husband. Bardock would smile as Gine helps him, and eventually the blast isn't dissipated, but Bardock able to fire a straight Ki blast and hits Frieza right through the chest. Frieza spit out blood and pass out. He's not dead, but he's passed out. Everyone in the Midori do know this, but they're shocked. Ki blast is eventually able to be thrown in the air by Goku, and by Bardock, and he's actually able to kill Zarbon and Midori himself. Frieza wakes up a bit and fires a ki blast right through Bardock's heart. Before Bardock could kill him, Frieza is able to open one eye and weakly fire a ki blast through Bardock's heart, killing him. Frieza would sit up saying, "You damn monkeys!" and fire a giant ki blast right through the core planet Vegeta, blowing it up completely, leaving a lot of the Saiyans out in space without anywhere to return to, and they all die. And Bardock and Gine succumb to the fate of nowhere. They have nowhere to breathe or land for air. They just die in space. So yeah. Now with this, we basically just have Goku on Earth. Now he watched everything that happened, and happy to see his dad throw ki blast in the air, but it's sad to see his planet destroyed. And Goku memorized every little thing you got to read or look at in the Planet Vegeta lab. He memorized a lot of things that are different. Even a bit of formulas for Saiyan armor. And Bardock's actually able to help Goku memorize how to make Saiyan armor as well. And Goku being basically a genius, he's actually able... He doesn't know he's a genius, he just knows he's somewhat smart for his age. So yeah. But yeah, so we basically just have Goku land on Earth. He lands with Gohan. Goku's personality is a lot like how it is in canon. It's just, well, in battle he's more like Bardock. Like he's a lot like Bardock in and out of battle, but deep down he gives the illusion he's like Bardock, like a very more stoic and calm man. But he can smile. He knows how to do stuff. But his real personality is more like Gine is. And Raditz is a lot like how canonical Goku is. Just he's smart. And strong, but yeah, stronger. And Goku meets Grandpa Gohan. Well, Goku's able to quickly master Grade 8 form pretty easily, actually. Not master Grade 8 form, he already mastered that, actually. But he'll master Turtle Helmet style, or what Grandpa Gohan knows of it, and he brings Grandpa Gohan, we'll bring Goku to Roshi, because Goku, the time he's already 6, is able to master Turtle Helmet style. Now at Roshi, Goku has to master more. So we go to when Goku's 11, so 5 years later. For 5 years, with Gohan supervising the training with Roshi, Goku did actually deem Roshi a very weak warrior the moment he met him, because Roshi fell to just the thought of a woman without certain clothing on. Goku deemed Roshi a weak warrior for that, and defeated him quickly. Because Goku already mastered Saiyan martial arts, and was actually just holding back against Gohan and Roshi. But with one swift movement, he knocked out Roshi, and Goku now began training Roshi somewhat. Roshi taught Goku to master Turtle Helmet style, and Goku just mastered his basic, master Saiyan martial arts already, so Turtle Helmet is all he needed to master. When they meet Bulma will kind of question what's going on here, because she sees Goku flying around, and with Grandpa Gohan, and they're kind of like occasionally just trading blows. But reality is just a giant game of tag in outer space. Not space, but just flying. Gohan says, "Oh, that's my student Gohan, and that's my roommate Goku." Like he calls Goku his roommate, not student, and calls Gohan his student, not roommate. When he tries how they're flying, Roshi says, "Goku, Gohan, can you guys come down here, please?" And Goku flies down there. She already knew how to fly from his father. I don't know if I said this, but Goku has mastered Ki Sensory and mastered Ki Control already on Planet Vegeta. He can already do basically Ki Blast, like all of Bardock's attacks are not simple to do, but he knows how to do them. And he already knew how to fly when he met Gohan. So, yeah. He'll taught Gohan how to fly even before he got training with Roshi. And he already mastered Kamehameha. He's done it straight for 5. He's done it for 5 years straight. He should know how to do it. But yeah, so back to this. So Goku would talk to Bulma, and Bulma does get the Dragon Ball, because Goku does say that he wants to find, he has a certain wish he has in mind. And Roshi and Gohan are aware of Goku being an alien. He tells them he's an alien from planet Vegeta. And Goku's Saiyan armor, well, he doesn't outgrow it. Instead, she's able to patch it up a bit, using different materials from planet Earth, like going to town, and just buying random stuff, or sneakily stealing it. Or swiftly stealing it. He's too fast for anyone to even see, so it doesn't really matter for him. Because he's actually able to build some decent Saiyan armor for himself. It's more like Saiyan armor, kind of like what Vegeta wears in Super, kind of like that. But Bulma doesn't know that Goku's a genius whose intelligence rivals hers. Goku doesn't know that either, because all he knows is that he thinks he's average intelligence. No, he's intelligence on the level of Bulma, who's far surpassing normal geniuses. And when Goku actually wants to know how pods work, Bulma tells him, and Goku memorized all of that instantly. And Goku now begins trying to make his own pods for different kind of armor. So now with the Dragon Balls, he's actually able to snag every single Dragon Ball really quickly. And Goku also kind of wrote down how to make a dragon radar, because Bulma was asleep, he took it apart and put it back together in the morning before she woke up. And now Goku kind of memorized every single thing that Bulma has and how to make it. Well, every single thing that's not part of the human body. But yeah. Now, they met Oolong, they met Yamcha, they speed through the whole Dragon Ball thing in a matter of around 3 weeks. With Oolong, Goku just quite literally just scared the hell out of him and took the Dragon off from him. With Yamcha, well, just a simple one shot, that was really all it took. And then Pilaf Gang never got the hint of Dragon Ball because Goku made sure they didn't go near Bulma. Goku and Bulma get along pretty well. Chi-Chi does not, well, Goku doesn't want to marry Chi-Chi. He knows what the word means and refuses, saying, no, he's too young for that and barely knows Chi-Chi, so no. But if they get to know each other some more sometime, then he'll consider it. So Chi-Chi kind of thinks that's very, Oxing loves it, and Chi-Chi's like, he's such a gentleman. It's kind of like how Chi-Chi and Oxing think of it. Goku's a gentleman. In reality, that's kind of his way trying to avoid talking to Chi-Chi even more. But yeah. Now, due to Goku not needing to train with Roshi during this time, he's already beaten Roshi multiple times in Master Tournament style. What he moves on to next is she hang out with Bulma and her family. Yamcha actually goes to Roshi alongside Oolong and Puar. Now, Krillin, well, it's been a few weeks in total, actually, not a few months or years. So Goku doesn't even need to train with Roshi. So during this time that he's hanging out with Bulma, also teaches Bulma how to fly and everything. And he met Tights, he met Dr. Briefs. I don't know the name of Bulma's parents, I don't know their names. So I guess Punchy and Dr. Briefs and Tights. He met Tights, he meets Punchy, he meets Dr. Briefs. And well, just tell him about Planet Vegeta and what it's like. That's Goku's smart, but didn't really care about the gravity of Planet Vegeta. All he knows is that Planet Vegeta has heavier gravity than this, and he does tell that to Dr. Briefs because he's curious about the planet. And Dr. Briefs is like, heavier gravity. He has Goku make an estimate, and Goku starts thinking back to Planet Vegeta and how he felt, even going back to the point where he's reliving a memory. He goes, I put it at 9 to 10 times Earth's normal gravity. Dr. Briefs is like, okay. And this is when Dr. Briefs begins helping Bulma and Dr. Briefs begin making a whole gravity machine for Goku. They make the gravity machine, Goku begins training in it, and deems it pretty fun. Bulma can handle up to 3 times normal gravity now, because she trains with Goku a little bit, so yeah. Now during this time, he's heard about the Red Ribbon Army rising, and, well, no one knows this. Well, Roshi and Gohan kind of do, but, well, Kami and Korn don't know that Goku can sense them and their power levels. They're recently high, and he can tell that they're, I guess, not known by society, unless it's like Bora and Oompa in their tribe. But Goku would realize the Red Ribbon Army is kind of close to Korn's tower, and not wanting to reveal the secrecy of Kami's lookout and Korn's tower, he actually would have been attacking them. Not because he's told to, just to protect Kami and Korn. And Kami does feel Goku's intent when he realizes Goku's flying towards them. He's like, he knows who I am. It's impressive. But Goku flies out to the Red Ribbon Army and defeats every single commander of it, till it's left to like the foot soldiers like Jibo and Dr. Gero. Well, Dr. Gero's not a foot soldier, he's a scientist, but Jibo. Jibo was at Goku, and Goku didn't kill anyone, actually. He doesn't really feel like killing. He's not fond of it. Like I said before, his personality is more similar to Gine. And outside, he's like Bardock, but internally and emotionally, he's a lot more like Gine. So Goku just beats up Jibo, and just confirm Jibo's not dead, he's just unconscious. Goku currently is resting at a good around 15,000. He makes quick work of Jibo, and, well, eventually the Red Army, the whole place is defeated, but no one's dead. He makes sure no one's dead. Like when it comes to tank, he just grab the barrel, tore the top off, and hit other tanks with that giant barrel. And make sure that no one died with it, so, yeah. Now, due to everyone being unconscious, Goku's kind of interested in this place, and hopes the technology can be proven useful to Dr. Briefs, because he owes them. They gave him a place to stay for a while. Goku goes through everything, and is able to find out what Dr. Gero's working on, including androids. And he's actually able to memorize every little thing about androids, every single detail on how to make them. And this leads to Android 17 and 18 not really being in the works currently. So this will come into play later. So Android 19 and 18, Android 17 and 18, when they're in Super, people estimate their ages to be like mid-late 30s, and Goku's already like early 40s. So at this point, Lapis and Lazuli are not much older. They're not much younger than Goku. So they probably won't be made up until the point of them being like, probably like a mid Saiyan saga, because this will come into play. I'll tell you what happens later. But it will take every single piece of technology and blueprints out of the Red Ribbon Army that he deems valuable, And eventually, by the time he's done, every single tank is gone, every single gun is gone, the whole base is dismantled. Red Ribbon Army is done. No one died. It was just an embarrassing loss. And Dr. Gero woke up first, but as Goku leaving, he deemed Dr. Gero the greatest genius he's ever met. Dr. Gero didn't realize, in that split second, Goku isn't really trying to hurt anyone. He just says that they have bad intentions, but they are geniuses above anyone's ever met. And that includes Dr. Brief's family. Dr. Gero's heart is warmed by this, and actually doesn't want revenge on Goku. No one died, no one was seriously hurt. It was just a few knockouts. Sure, it was embarrassing to their pride, but that's it. I'm going to pause real quick. So, Goku would just basically proceed to deliver all his technology and weapons to Dr. Briefs, and Dr. Briefs says that he questioned where Goku got this because he beat up the whole army. They were bad guys, of course. He mentions Dr. Gero to them, and, an invitation to him and his son. Dr. Gero's kind of questioning this when he arrives at the base, and by the way, this is months before Goku would even need to train with Roshi, months before this. When Dr. Gero arrives, he basically sees Goku working on a exoskeleton or something. And questioning why Goku's here, and Goku says that he basically stole every single bit of technology for Dr. Brief's family, and recommended Dr. Gero to work here. Dr. Gero would thank Goku, because he just realized that, quickly, with Goku's technology that Goku gave them, Capsule Corp instantly rose through the ranks to be the richest company and family in history. And Dr. Gero's happy to see that if technology was used for good, it could do this. And Jibo immediately attacked Goku, though. Jibo attacked Goku. Goku quickly dodges its attacks and hits him in the back of the neck swiftly, knocking him out. And Dr. Gero does know Goku is not someone who would kill. He would actually quickly realize this once everyone in the Red Ribbon Army wakes up. No serious injuries, no broken bones, no burns, no bullet holes, nothing. Just a few light bruises on the back of their necks or on their cheeks. It is it. Very swift stop to the face or chop to the neck. That's all it is. Well, some of them had a few bruised sides because he hit tanks with the barrels of tanks, but that was really it. And no one was critically injured. That's really all I'm trying to say here. But yeah. Now, with this, basically, Dr. Gero would begin working at Capsule Corp, and Jibo was able to lighten up with Goku training him a bit. Bulma trained him first, and he quickly surpassed Bulma, then Goku trained him. But yeah, now Jibo, here's a probable of around 700. Bulma is at 500. We have Yamcha, who'd grown to 200. Roshi, who's already in the thousands, swimming down for Gohan. Roshi's probable is at around 8,000 without suppressing it. With suppressing it, he's at 2,000. But yeah. Now, Dr. Gero did tell Bulma in depth about the androids because he had thoughts about it they didn't write down yet, so Goku doesn't know about it. But when we express Dr. Briefs and Bulma, this makes sense, this makes better sense. Eventually Tights does stop by with Jocko. Jocko's like, there's another alien here? And he thought it was a Saiyan. He investigates Goku, sees Goku helping Bulma, and they're directing them. We use Goku wearing Saiyan armor, it's a little bit different. Jocko actually tries to arrest Goku, but Goku beats the hell out of Jocko. And Jocko is kind of confused on why Goku is so young yet this strong. Goku reveals he's a Saiyan elite. Jocko's like, that makes a lot more sense. And why I feel like every single bone was broken. But Jocko does scan his body real quick. Well, Tights does, and she's like, no broken bones, no, there's some minor bruises, but that's really it. Jocko realizes that Goku he swiftly hit Jocko to the point where he used a lot of force. There's no force behind it, just really fast. And Jocko's impressed by this. Goku's not trying to hurt him, he's just trying to get Jocko away from him. And Goku explains his whole Saiyan nature. Now, there's very few good Saiyans, and he was taught to be a good Saiyan because good Saiyans are usually stronger. They don't really have a reason to fight, but they have a reason to protect. And that's what he tries to do. He tries to be the guardian of Earth, or the protector of Earth. He points up to where Kami's lookout is, saying, well, up there, I'm estimating that's the god, or the true guardian. Goku's a little confused, but does go to Kami's lookout and see a Namekian. Kami questions who Jocko is, and Jocko says, Galactic Patrol. Jocko says, oh, you're a Namekian. He's like, what the hell's a Namekian? Jocko explains to them, and Jocko's able to do somewhat of a history on Kami's old ship and say, yeah, this is Namekian, and this is the Namekian language, and Jocko explains everything to Kami. Kami's kind of shocked, and finds out Namekians are a real race. And Kami is actually able to get King Kai to help him talk to Elder Guru. Elder Guru and Kami, it does take a while, but they're able to establish a telepathic link, and Kami gets everything about his history and his father. Kami's happy that Guru taught him this, and Guru shares around every single knowledge that he has of the Namekians when his father was around, around the time Kami was born. Here's all the knowledge that went on around that time, the current knowledge. Kami thanks Elder Guru, and, well, Kami would then get stronger himself by mastering every single Namekian technique. He's using Dragon Balls selfishly to make himself younger. And with the Dragon Balls, when they originally got them, I'm pretty sure I had the wish basically be Goku wanting to check in on Raditz. If I didn't, that was his wish to check in on Raditz. But, yeah. Let me pause real quick. Alright, so Capsule Corp begins working on, like, robot projects. Jibo, he is assigned Bulma's bodyguard. And eventually we go to the time when the martial art tournament would come around. One month before it started, Goku had actually encountered Roshi and Krillin was shocked to see that this is Roshi's top student, a student stronger than Roshi even. Krillin was at Goku trying to see if he's stronger, and Krillin was thrown halfway across whatever city they're in. And when Krillin's thrown, he thinks he's going to die until Roshi will catch him in the air. Roshi learned how to fly from Gohan. But yeah. So the tournament rolls around, Yamcha participates, Jackie-chan participates, and Goku participates as well. Goku's the all-around winner, as Roshi cannot keep up with Goku's speed or strength. His techniques are pretty cool, with the same martial arts being something that Roshi doesn't know. Goku taught Roshi the basics, and that's it, but Goku mastered the whole martial art as a thing. So Roshi's beaten by this, and yeah. Now, eventually with this, basically, we would have Goku, who would go back to Capsule Corp, and Bulma's not dating Yamcha. She has a slight crush on Goku because of, well, his intelligence and strength is something that she desires in a, well, man. But also, it's back to Capsule Corp because Dr. Gero, Bulma, and Dr. Briefs were able to make one big invention that would probably please Goku. And it is a gravity chamber. Dr. Briefs explains this gravity chamber can go up to 1,000 times normal gravity. And if you guys wonder about Jaco and Kami, Jaco did tell Kami that Goku told him where Lookout was, and Kami's like, so he knows where we are. It's impressive. But yeah, during this time, Goku trains in the gravity chamber constantly, and he does it for basically every day. This is basically Goku ends up living in Capsule Corp with Bulma. And Draco occasionally checks in, and him and Goku actually get along pretty well. Goku's able to read Draco's personality like a book, and knows what Jaco would like and how he is. One day, Goku's kind of just out on the street, and he ends up seeing a woman robbing a bank, a blonde-haired woman. She tries to escape. Goku would shoot a key blast at her. That's not going to hurt or anything, but he hits her in the back and makes her pass out. Now, immediately, he appears by this woman as she's falling and catches her and flies off. Or disappears from everyone's point of view. No one really saw him. They saw Launch disappear. And Launch wakes up in the backyard of Capsule Corp and in a tiny house. He questions where she is, and Goku questions why she was robbing the bank. Launch would try to hit Goku, but Goku dodges and keeps asking her. He says, what? Abroad needs money. Goku just says, why don't you just get a job? Says she can't get one because of her record, and Goku gets thinking, saying, well, that was it. Why don't I just help you? Now, Launch is kind of questioning when Goku wants to help her, even though she just attacked him and met him 2 minutes ago. And Goku's whole thing is just basically helping people and making sure Earth is a good place. So when he offers to help Launch says, oh yeah, what can you do, kid? He points out the window and she realizes he's got Capsule Corp, the Great Capsule Corp. He thinks about robbing it, so Goku would say, well, other than me helping them a lot, they kind of owe me a ton of favors. So I guess one of the favors would be getting you a job here. Yeah, I guess as a bodyguard, since you seem to use a gun and you seem pretty decent at martial arts. Someone's like, I don't have to be a scientist, I can be a bodyguard. Goku would nod, saying, yeah, you're not going to be a head guard, though, because that belongs to Jibo. Points to the corner of the room where Jibo's sitting there, and Bulma's asleep on the couch. This one Jibo's like, a criminal working under me. Goku would laugh, saying, am I hearing a hypocrite, Jibo? Jibo just says, fine. She can work under me. And this one launches like, he's a criminal? Well, this one, the Goku not saying, yeah, he was one of the soldiers of the Red Ribbon Army. It's like, the Red Ribbon Army? It was dismantled not that long ago, right? Goku says, by yours truly. Launch is kind of shocked, but Goku seems to be pretty strong, so she believes it. Now with this, Jibo begins giving Launch a tour of the place, and Launch is shocked. And she uses her paycheck, she instantly wants the jobs. This is more money than she'd make in 10 years at robbing banks. So she takes the job, and Launch is now one of the personal guards, and one of the students of Goku. Goku memorized every single thing that Capsule Corp had taught him, and Goku's now a genius rivaling Gero and Dr. Briefs and Bulma combined. I don't know it, but he does. Goku also been training in Sakari form constantly in the time chamber, in the gravity chamber for days on end. And everyone got accustomed to Blue launch to the point where Dr. Gero, Goku, Bulma, and Dr. Briefs are able to make something to help her, like just she stays in her blue-haired form, so she's not recognizable, but her personality is blend. Well, this launch is somewhat kind of like her normal self, but a mixture of her blue-haired form as well. So Launch is no longer a wanted woman. No one knows what she looks like outside of her blonde-haired form. So yeah, now Goku eventually meets Roshi and Krillin as they stop by to say hi. Yamcha stops by to say hi to Bulma. Yeah, they kind of all get to know each other, and Goku introduces them to the gravity chamber. They're all training there constantly, and Goku's house kind of doubles as a gravity chamber. But when you activate it, everything on it flips out. Like a whole room flip. Everything just put inside the walls. Like everything folds out into the walls, and then you can turn the gravity chamber in there. That's if Goku is bored and wants some midnight training. But yeah. Now, because we can Goku, like around the time that Goku has to fight Tien, when that tournament comes around, Goku is known as the greatest martial artist in the world. And there's a few people who want to test out if that theory is true. Now, Tien wins a tournament alongside the second place being a boy named by the name of Mark. Oh, now immediately Mark calls out Goku, and then Tien calls out Goku as well. Now, Mark lost because he kind of ran out of stamina in his fight, but his opponent had still lost because they were badly injured by Mark. He broke a few of their bones. Goku jumped in the ring, saying, fine, you guys can fight me. And his probable currently is around 30,000. Gravity Chamber does wonders. Now, Tien would rush at Goku, trying to use just every single technique in his book, but they easily counter at Goku, till eventually, Goku just says, some dust got up my nose. He sneezes, and a giant blast sent Tien flying through multiple buildings. Shen and Chaozu watched this in awe. Tien was sent flying with a sneeze. And, well, this leaves Mark being nervous to attack Goku because Tien beat his ass. So, Mark tries to attack Goku, tries to break his arm, but Goku just pimp slaps him to the ground, and Mark's unconscious easily. He gets Tien and Mark up, and, well, he then senses something that worries him. As he's fighting them both at the same time now, he's sensing for Krillin because he can't find him. Then he finds Krillin's in a battle. He says, wait, Roshi, check on Krillin, he's fighting someone. Roshi and Gohan run off to look for Krillin, and they see a giant flying blue beast. He's flying with tons of scratches, and they see Krillin walk out of a room covered in scratches and blood. Suddenly, everyone will hear Kame, and just the whole Kamehameha thing, and Southern Tambourine is erased out of existence by that Kamehameha from Roshi. Roshi wasn't even buffed up, it was just a basic Kamehameha in his normal form. Krillin thanks Roshi, as Krillin's pretty beaten up. But this leads to basically just Tien and Mark being beaten by Goku, and he offers to make them both his students. Roshi says, I'd take that offer if I were you two. He's really strong, stronger than me. Shen would say, that little boy stronger than you, Roshi. I'm disappointed. This is immediately when Roshi says, Shen, I can kick your ass 8 ways to the future. Shen says, try me, you old coot. Immediately Shen would charge at Goku, not Goku, charge at Roshi, and Roshi kicks Shen so hard, Shen almost dies. Roshi would say, see, 8 ways to the future. Shen says, oh, 8 ways to the past, I saw my life flash before my eyes. Shen was coughing out blood, and Tien takes up Goku's offer, so does Mark. Now, on the way out, Mark saw a poster of a beautiful woman, and he wanted to meet her. He had a concert in a few minutes at that. Roshi gave Mark some money, and Mark was able to check out the concert, but Mark also had to go to Goku the next day. Mark participates in the concert, watches the concert, meets the woman, and him and the woman, they fall in love. Now, King Piccolo does rise up, but a year later, because Goku beat the hell, well, not Goku, Roshi killed Tambourine, and that was kind of turning that old man did that. So, now, this led to Piccolo training for a year, and then using the using just some basic training later. Until eventually you would see just Goku, who has to fight, not Goku has to have to fight, but everyone has to do, just their own training, because Kami recommends it by using telepathy. Kami can beat Piccolo himself, but he wants to see what the humans can do, or Goku mainly can do. Kami's power level currently is at around 5,000, and he upgraded the Dragon Ball to the point where they can grant 2 wishes. He's not upgrading them fully because he doesn't think all humans deserve it, in case the wrong guys get them. But 2 wishes is something he's willing to give them. But yeah, so Piccolo attacks the city, and its power level isn't any more than 800. and he hatched Piccolo Jr. So Piccolo Jr. and Piccolo are raining havoc till they encounter Mark, Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, and Roshi. Goku's just watching. Piccolo Jr. attacks Goku, but is quickly slapped back down to the ground. Then Piccolo Jr. attacks, he's defeated. Piccolo attacks, and he's defeated himself. But they're defeated by throws only. And they do know how strong Goku is by just those throws. He's stronger than them both combined, even. So now this leads to Piccolo and Piccolo Jr. attacking the group. And, well, Krillin beats them both, shockingly. He did almost being killed by Tambourine. Krillin's eyes woke up. Well, not his eyes woke up. His eyes widened at how weak he was. And he began training with Goku in the time chamber. Not time chamber, gravity chamber. All of them did. Now, Piccolo and Piccolo Jr., their power levels aren't even scratching the surface of 1,300. While we have everyone else whose power levels are surpassing 2,000. So, they all began beating up, Piccolo Jr. and Piccolo, but Kami just says don't kill them. Piccolo Jr., due to him not wanting to be associated with his dad because he does realize his dad is the one that they hate, he holds his hands out saying he's willing to change his ways if they let him live and not be sealed away. Now, Kami is actually able to sense the truth in this, but does realize he will not like them at all. He will not be their friend or their ally, but he's willing to abandon his evil ways. It's not a lie. So, he seals away King Piccolo, but ends up making Piccolo Jr. stay on the lookout and be trained by Kami. But Goku, being nervous, trains Piccolo Jr. as well, just to make sure he gets his shit straight. And now we fast forward a few years. Now, by the time Goku's 18, him and Bulma already started dating, and, well, Gohan is born on the same time he isn't canon. But he's born half purple, half black hair. Gigi didn't realize that Goku didn't love her, and she was able to realize that Goku was not someone that she would love. Because, well, Goku's a little bit different than her. Not a little bit, a lot different than her. So, yeah. Like, Goku and Bulma, they were not like brother and sister at all, because even though they lived together, they were not like brother and sister at all, they were more like co-workers, and that can blossom into a relationship, truly. But now, we would basically just have, just something we need to fast forward a bit. So, when we fast forward a bit, you basically go to the Saiyan Saga. Now, Raditz' power level currently, he already surpassed his canonical self when he was a kid. So Raditz currently is already surpassing Nappa, and him and Vegeta are rivals in power. Vegeta is at a power level of around 30,000, and we have Raditz, who's at 31,000. We have Nappa, who himself is at 17,000. Then we'd have Goku, who's surpassing them all. Bulma understands how important training and fighting is to Saiyans, and Chocolate told them all about Saiyan culture. So they do know why Goku loves battle the way he does. Because Goku is aware of Saiyan culture, but not aware of how Saiyans are all the time. Bulma hears about how normal Saiyans are, just realizes that Gohan maybe an average Saiyan, and knows how important battle may be to him. So training is a constant, something that he enjoys. And Gohan is born with a power level of 400. When Raditz arrives on Earth, though, well, he senses power levels, but knows about the power levels, and his scouter is able to pick up power levels up to around 15,000. And the lowest power level he finds is going to be Kami. Scouter is able to go that wide of a range, and the power level is Kami at 20,000, which does confuse Raditz because he senses another power level up there that's around 40,000. That being Piccolo Jr. at least. Yeah, so when Raditz arrives up there, he questions where Kakarot is, and, well, Goku did meet Kami. He met Kami because Kami questioned why Goku knows who he is. Goku reveals why he knows who Kami is, and I was like, alright, well, Piccolo can train up here, and, yeah. Now, everyone doesn't know Goku's Saiyan name, he just says his name is Kakarot, but he prefers Son Goku, actually. Because his name's very similar to Carrot, so he prefers Son Goku because it's not like Carrot. And Launch is still Bulma's bodyguard, and Jibo and Bulma are dating. Not Bulma and Jibo. Bulma and Launch. Ah, fuck. Jibo and Launch are dating. Yeah, Jibo and Launch are dating, and Goku's still married to Bulma. So, yeah. Now, when Raditz hears about how strong Goku is, he's like, interesting. Goku's power level currently is around 70,000 at its highest. So, when Raditz would find Goku at Capsule Corp, he realized that Goku's kind of just wearing a lab coat, some normal attire for humans, and he sees a mannequin, and it's Goku. He has Saiyan armor on it, and pretty good Saiyan armor at that. And Raditz was like, Kakarot. Goku raises a tone of voice, turns around yelling, Raditz! And running towards him. Because Goku's certainly happy to see some of his own family. Or another Saiyan at that, that's not his own son. And that may sound dark. Goku loves Gohan, he truly does. He's happy he's seen another Saiyan. That's really it. Another Saiyan that he's been with for a long time at that. So yeah. Now, Raditz don't get that excited. As over the shadow, here's Vegeta and Nappa laughing at him. Raditz says, Vegeta, I'll break this damn scouter as we speak. Vegeta says, shut up, Raditz. You won't do this. You won't do that. When they suddenly hear the scouter, well, they don't hear it. They just don't hear it from it anymore. They thought Raditz actually broke it. In reality, he just turned it off. That's really it. But Goku begins talking to Raditz, catching up with him, and Goku introduces Raditz to his wife Bulma, his friends Jibo and Launch, his friends Tien Shinhan, Mark, and his wife. What's Vidal's mom's name again? So Goku has a 4-year-old son by the name of Gohan, and we have Satan, or we have Mark and Miguel, and Miguel and Satan, or Miguel and Mark, have a daughter by the name of Videl, who's 1 year older than Gohan. Gohan and Videl hang out constantly, and they have like a little joke relationship going on. Yeah, so Raditz is like, well, this is name direct Kakarot, but we need your help to defeat Frieza. Goku feels Raditz's power level and senses Frieza. It's very brief, but is able to determine a power level for him, saying, Frieza is about 500,000. You with Ikari, if you've mastered it, that is, would be around 300,000 Raditz. Raditz would nod, saying, 310,000. Goku would nod, saying, yeah. Raditz, train with me until Vegeta and Nappa arrive. Tell them to come here, and I'll train them both. Once I train them both, even me and Ikari can beat Frieza. So I'll train you till you can beat Frieza. Plus, he has a dormant power. I'm guessing other forms. This shocks Raditz, but he agrees, and throws in Nappa and Raditz on the scouter. Well, Nappa and Vegeta. Now, they actually trust Goku because he's an elite, and Raditz has confirmed he's stronger than them both. Plus, that Ikari form, he taught them both. Goku has mastered it. Because Raditz didn't master it because he's mainly focused on missions, not just training. But, okay, if he's mastered it, he must be stronger than Raditz. That's just stronger than them too. So, they arrive on Earth 1 year later. And when they arrive, well, Vegeta's personality is very similar to how he is in the Cell Saga. Around that kind of personality. And Nappa's a little bit more humbled, and kind of decent. He's decently kind, I'd say. So, yeah, him and Vegeta are kind of the same personality. But when they feel Goku's power level and use a scouter to pick it up, the scouter breaks. So the scouter's at least able to pick up Raditz and Vegeta. But now they can't even pick up Raditz. The scouter began short-circuiting, then with Goku completely just shattered and exploded. So this could tell how strong these two had gotten. Raditz is now at 70,000, Goku's at 200,000, because, well, we kind of just began training as hard as possible with Raditz. They've both been using Ikari and going blow for blow daily, even training the hyperbolic time chamber. Raditz at 70,000, Goku's at 200,000. So, Goku using Ikari can beat Frieza's forms up until Frieza's final form. You can say that out loud. And this actually shocks Vegeta and Nappa, and Raditz even. But, well, not Raditz actually. He can sense Ki, not as good as Kakarot, but still pretty good. Vegeta and Nappa begin their training, and we go around the time they canonically go to Namek. Now, Kami he's actually able to use Dragon Balls, not Dragon Balls, he's actually able to, well, first off, he can speak Namekian and knows what Namekians are. He doesn't know how to get there. He does tell Kami that these guys may arrive, but they're going to arrive to use the Namekian Dragon Balls. Because they have a plan. And Goku does tell Guru this plan once using telepathy, and Guru does actually thank Goku for taking them into consideration for his plan. Now, this battle will be on the edge of the galaxy, which is actually going to be needed because there's not going to be many planets that have inhabitants around. So they'll hold a Namek, and they'll use the Namekian Dragon Balls. First wish is basically swap out all the Namekians, then put them on a different planet that is first, find a planet that has a better water source than Namek. Find a planet that's farther away than it currently is, and was on the other side of the galaxy, away from Earth still, but it's closer to Earth than it is currently, and outside of Frieza's range. But perfectly in the Galactic Patrol's range, which Guru's like, alright, that works with me. So then, second wish, swap out the Namekians into that planet. There's no inhabitants on that planet, so it works. Then, third wish, bring Frieza to planet Namek. And they do name the new planet they name the new planet New Namek. So, Frieza will not be transported there, he's probably transported to the current planet Namek. This plan isn't in place yet. They've all just been training as hard as possible. Until eventually, well, Bulma has their ship ready, Kami has his ship ready, Kami has his ship ready because he wants to go to Namek first to meet Guru personally. And before they leave, well, Piccolo actually suggests that him and Kami fuse. Because Piccolo is actually a pure-hearted man by now. He's really good. His personality is very similar to how he is in Super. And Kami with this actually volunteers to fuse with Piccolo, saying that something that could be good. So they fuse, and the left behind on Earth would be Gohan and Roshi. And they're decent guards, so it works. And Jibo and Launch are pretty strong themselves too. Roshi's power level would rest at a good 20,000. Gohan would rest at 17,000. Jibo is going to be at 30,000, and Launch would be at 8,000. But yeah, so they had the planet Namek, and they get there pretty fast. So before Bulma got into actually Goku's the smart person on Earth by far currently, and then well, Bulma, Dr. Briefs, Dr. Gero, and Goku's minds combined, they're able to make ships that are insanely fast and strong. These ships are able to take the Kamehameha from Goku and not be destroyed instantly. And Goku's wearing Saiyan armor alongside Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz, and Gohan actually. Well, these Saiyan armor suits, well, they can't really be broken. They're some of the most flexible and durable things in the galaxy. Those are incredibly hard to break. So they hit planet Namek. They arrive there, and everyone else has armor that's similar Saiyan armor, but the armor is designed to their personal liking. So Piccolo has the same stuff he has on, but it's made from the same material Saiyan armor that at least everyone else has on, and it's like regular cloth, but it's just more flexible and fun to use. And everyone Tien has the same clothes on. He has it in the canonically as well, but except for it's basically armor. So now on planet Namek, the boosters are made, but first, well, Piccolo and Nail actually get on pretty well, and Guru actually asks Nail to fuse with Piccolo. Piccolo will question why. Same with Nail, but that's when Guru's like, Nail, this is basically for the greater good of the galaxy. I ask you to do this. With every my life force left, I ask you to do this. Nail agrees to this because it'd be fighting for the galaxy. Fuses with Piccolo, and now Piccolo's power level would rise to be around 1 million. And Guru puts hands on Piccolo's head, fusing every atom of his knowledge into Piccolo. The Piccolo would accept this, and second wish, swap out the Namekians for the new planet. And third wish, well, bring Frieza here. So Frieza's brought there, Guru on the new planet will send some Dragon Balls to him, and now when Frieza's there, well, Frieza Force is there actually, everyone sends Frieza Force. And by default, King Cold, who happened to be a Frieza, he arrives there as well. When they question where they are, Frieza would see Vegeta, Nappa, Raditz, and another Saiyan. Frieza questions what's going on, and some Vegeta would chuckle, saying, Frieza, find a Saiyan stronger than you. And, well, this inspired us to revolt against you. Now, as Vegeta says revolt against you, Zarbon will attack Vegeta, but suddenly, well, Zarbon's head would hit the ground, and this shocks everyone. It looks like Piccolo, who's holding the body, because Piccolo basically just dashed and grabbed Zarbon's body, and yanked it, and his head didn't stop. Piccolo would drop Zarbon's body, and he chuckles, saying, now is that really it? Come on, this is the notorious Frieza Force. I expect better. Suddenly Frieza would attack Piccolo, but Piccolo slams Frieza right into the ground, full force, and Piccolo looks like King Cold, who attacks him, and King Cold gets the shit kicked out of him. We have Midori, who attacks everyone else, but Nappa punches a hole clean through him and kills him. Now this leads to a battle between these, well, Yamcha, Piccolo, Goku, Raditz, Vegeta, Nappa, Goku, Vegeta, Nappa, Raditz, Piccolo, Gohan, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin. That's about it. These 9 versus, if I said Goku, I almost said Goku, but I mean, like these 9 or 10 people versus an army of tens of thousands. Goku is really two-phased, and he just says, you guys get in charge of Kamehameha together. Gohan participates as everyone else will charge up their Kamehameha. Piccolo will just charge up a special beam cannon, mix in with this, and when they charge it up and fire it, this takes out more than half the Frieza Force. But there's still around 2,000 left. But none of these, excluding Vegeta, Nappa, Raditz, and Goku, these 5 take on most of the Frieza Force and destroy them. Now it's Frieza who recovered, and King Cold recovered as well, and they power up to their full ability. And this leaves Piccolo transform a bit, his eyes turn red, his body bulks up, and a bit of armor surrounds his body. He even removes his weights as his power level then jumps to be around 10 million. Goku would chuckle. Piccolo then attacks Frieza, Sim and Frieza begin clashing. Frieza deeming Piccolo insanely powerful himself. Eventually, Frieza would go 50% and destroy Piccolo. King Cold was already at 100% and attacks Goku, Sim and Goku being clashing fists. Goku's already rivaling Piccolo in his base form. Then Goku would go Ikari, which is times 10. He's now at 100 million. And King Cold is being pushed back a bit. Goku and King Cold, Goku's at 100 million, King Cold is at 110 million. Eventually, King Cold beats Goku, which shocks everyone, because King Cold's weaker than Frieza. They sense this. Eventually, everyone's being beaten, even if they use Ikari. And Piccolo would mention a technique to Goku, which is the fusion dance. When he says how to use it, they have to touch fingertips after doing this dance. Goku is looking at Raditz, as Raditz is not too prideful to not do this. Him and Goku are both able to do this. But it does require a bit of them, but people hold them off. Goku and Raditz begin doing the fusion dance, fail a few times, and after around 1 hour and 10 minutes, they're able to do the fusion dance perfectly, and they fuse. Kakarot. So yeah, Kakarot fights King Cold and annihilates him even with Ikari. And Frieza's just fighting the rest of the Z fighters as Kakarot begins abusing King Cold till eventually they kill him. But Frieza started a Ki Blast right at Piccolo, and Piccolo ended up being hit by it. But Gohan, seeing Piccolo dying, can't take this. He shoves Piccolo out of the way, just so he doesn't die. But Gohan is by default hit by the Giant Ki Blast and killed. Gohan had saved Piccolo in this version. Now Kakarot, seeing Gohan die, the rage in the uncle being Raditz, and the rage in the father being Son Goku or Kakarot. This sparks them being crying, and Super Saiyan being unleashed. But this is a raging Saiyan. Saiyan that has the rage times 10. So, by default, this power level may be a times 500 boost. With Ikari being mixed in now with the rage, Ikari being brought out by the rage, and a Super Saiyan. So times 500 would be... So, I'm putting Raditz at probably a power level of around 2 million currently. Then we have Goku at 10 million, so those two combined would be 12 million. Then we have them going at Ikari, which would be 120 million, which is rivaling base Frieza, and they annihilated King Cold. Then we have them going Super Saiyan, which is times 50, then times 10 with Ikari, so 5 times 500. Let me do the math on that. Current power level is going to be 6 billion. Actually, no, I think they did the math wrong. I need to incorporate their 120 million Ikari form times 500. No, never mind. It's Ikari being blended Super Saiyan, 6 billion with their current power level, 6 billion. Yeah, so Frieza being completely outmatched and obliterated, he eventually is killed due to his body being too injured. King Cold was the same way. His body was injured too severely, and he was killed by that. And Frieza got the same treatment, with every single part of his body being broken, mangled, and torn to shreds. Now Goku immediately ends up defusing at Raditz, and Goku would cuddle his dead son's body, or hold it, and just begins crying still. Now Piccolo would make a telepathic announcement to Roshi, Jibo, Gohan, and Launch and Bulma, Jocko, who she's on Earth currently to protect it, Tights, Dr. Briefs, Dr. Gero, and Bulma, that Gohan has died in battle. Bulma falls to her knees crying, and so do Dr. Briefs and Panchi. Jocko feels horrible because, he was friends with Gohan. Now with this, Jocko asks about the Frieza Force, and they say that Goku and Raditz had killed King Cold and Frieza. Bulma yells, those bastards deserve it, but the Dragon Balls, they turn to stone. Piccolo and Kami fused, and that ruined every chance the Dragon Balls being used ever again. But now Piccolo knows what he best do. The Kami side of him, the Guru part of him, not Guru part, the basically tones of a Guru, the Nail side of him, and the Kami side of him, makes him become the new Guardian of Earth. Once they return at that, they were able to trap Gohan in a cloth that Piccolo had made for them, and on Kami's lookout, the wish is made. Once Dragon Balls are restored to grant even 3 wishes. First wish, they want Gohan to be brought back to life. Wish is made, and then they get a message from King Kai. Message being, come train on my world. Gohan was halfway through Snake Way when he has brought him back to life. Now, it only takes him a few minutes to get to Earth from Namek. Gohan was in the middle of Snake Way. But, this one Piccolo's like, are you sure? But, so then King Kai's like, Goku, you had Planet Yardrat. There's a technique that you may find interest in. When Goku hears this, he actually asks about what everyone else is going to do. And Kai then says, how about this? Goku had a Yardrat, Piccolo, you had a Yardrat, and Raditz, if you want, you could have a Yardrat as well. Raditz has the Yardrat, everyone else has the King Kai's world. Raditz, Goku, and Piccolo had a Yardrat, everyone else has to King Kai's world. They train there, and Gohan actually is able to visit Bulma with the help of, Piccolo being able to transport between the worlds. So yeah, and Bulma can stand on the lookout reading every single book Piccolo had to offer. And she's actually decently strong too, so Mr. Peppo does deem her worthy to be on the lookout. Then Jibo begins training with Mr. Peppo himself. So yeah, now we fast forward through these years until they arrive on Earth. Well, Trunks is kind of confused when no one's there, until they all appear in the same location. Because their power levels, they're all incredibly strong, especially Goku. This is stronger than Goku he ever knew. Goku, by the time he was on Namek, had already surpassed Cell Shock Goku in his base form. Now Goku can go Super Saiyan and master it. Same with Raditz, because they were a fusion that went Super Saiyan. So with them going Super Saiyan as a fusion, they were both able to tap into the power. And so was Vegeta. Nappa's able to basically just kind of tap into false Super Saiyan, but that's really it. He doesn't get a boost of 50 times 50, gets a boost of times 20. Piccolo basically mastered his Namekian form, like his Super Namekian. He was able to push to give a boost of times 50 as well. Let me pause real quick, because it's 6 o'clock and I need to eat food, so bye. Well, not bye, but I'll be back in like an hour. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I left off with Trunks realizing everyone's more powerful than they are in canon. And I did say Goku currently, his power level is 10 million in his base form. Well, there's a good reason behind that. He trained with 4 more Saiyans, including Gohan, Nappa, Raditz, and Vegeta. He also trained with 4 of those Saiyans who can use Ikari alongside him. And, him and Raditz can mix in Ikari with Super Saiyan, and Vegeta can do so as well. And Vegeta and Nappa, plus Piccolo, they're always around Gohan in the afterlife, plus Piccolo has Super Namekian. So they're all insanely strong with the 50 times multiplier. And, Nappa can't reach Super Saiyan, Gohan and Vegeta can. Nappa can reach false Super Saiyan, which is a 20 times boost. I'm calculating it's 20 times boost, because it's not a full Super Saiyan form. But it's the aura of one. The Trunks would actually bring Goku aside, and, he's kind of confused. He sees Gohan with blue hair, and he sees Bulma saying, Goku, Gohan, where were you two? Well, she knows where they were, but he's like, what's taking so long? And one thing he does realize is that Bulma kind of just rubbed Goku's cheek, and he was able to tell that Goku and Bulma are the ones together in this one. But Trunks is it's a little different, because my Goku, he wasn't married to anyone. He had a kid, but that's it. Trunks' timeline, Goku did not marry anyone. He didn't find interest in Bulma, find an interest in Chi-Chi. This Goku took a path of, he's basically the CEO of Capsule Corp. He's the richest man in the world and the smartest. And Trunks is the son of Vegeta still, but his mother's different. His mother, yes, is Chi-Chi. I don't know why I said yes. I almost said yes, his mom is Vegeta. Yes, his dad's Vegeta, but his mother's Chi-Chi. So, Vegeta and Chi-Chi kind of got together because Chi-Chi draws that she didn't love Goku, but did love, his urge to fight, and Vegeta happened to have that same spark. So, yeah. So, eventually, during this time, Vegeta and Chi-Chi did get together. Trunks reveals to Goku and Raditz and Nappa who his father is, but to tell Goku about the difference in the future. Goku didn't marry anyone. He had Gohan with Chi-Chi. He had Gohan with some random woman. And basically just Goku having one spark while celebrating, and that one spark emanated in a child coming out of it. But Gohan was still pretty strong compared to his future counterpart. And Goku would say that he met a large amount of people that he was actually able to train, and they kind of just brought out the more non-Saiyan part of him. He revealed that, and Trunks is happy that Goku found that, because this Goku seems a lot happier and a lot less crazed for battle. Because Goku reveals everything about his current time with Trunks. And Trunks is like, that's amazing. You're the richest man in the world, you're the smartest. Well, that doesn't really change, you're always pretty smart. But Trunks has been shocked at Vegeta. He trained with King Kai. He trained training with people that he never thought his father would. His father seems a lot nicer. This Vegeta in the afterlife, well, he softened up a little bit more. Before he would later use on Earth, his personality was very similar to Cell Saga Vegeta. Well, now Vegeta with King Kai and the Z Fighters who bring out some good in him, he was able to more or less be like how he is in the Buu Saga. When Trunks realizes how nice his father is now, he's very happy with this. And he gives Goku the heart medication, and Goku immediately takes it, or asks Trunks to immediately take it, and Trunks says, it's worth a shot, and Trunks will watch Goku take it, and Goku says he'll try to take like the different doses of it occasionally. And he also says that, well, first he reads off the ingredients, and is able to somewhat analyze what else is in it, just through sheer taste. Trunks talks to Goku, remembers every single thing about it, and realizes why this Goku was so strong. His memory memorizes everything, and that can include fighting styles. So this Goku is a master or jack of all trades. But now Trunks would leave, and well, first Goku does explain why King Cold isn't there. He basically brought King Cold to Namek alongside Frieza by accident, and King Cold died alongside him. But Raditz is also Trunks is introduced to Nappa and Raditz too. Like, oh yeah, I'm basically Vegeta's captain, because Raditz is stronger than Vegeta, and Vegeta's kind of subjected to Raditz's squad. And Raditz is actually the strongest one in the Frieza Force, by 1,000 beating Zarbon in his full power. Well, second strongest, or third if you have King Cold, but yeah. Goku tells everyone about the androids, and Goku did tell Trunks about Dr. Gero, but Trunks does speculate that some of the androids went rogue. And Goku does say this is possible because the android technology did get a bit of advancements, and maybe too smart for their own good. Now, Goku does not speculate Dr. Gero or Jibo, because Jibo's alive, and Gero's a good guy. So, with this, basically, Trunks in his future, Jibo did not ally with Capsule Corp. We went rogue. He kept looking for the androids, but because Jibo's alive, he speculates maybe some of the androids were too smart for their own good and turned against everyone. Instead of Jibo and making weaker androids, these androids were weaker, yes, but still they were pretty smart. So yeah, they knew just where to hit and target because they're more branded to the mind of a soldier, not to the mind of a scientist. So yeah, during this time, 3 years, Bulma actually does offer up some people like, oh yeah, here's this, you get this much money if you participate, and this much money to undo it if it fails. And the people that want to participate in this experiment are Lapis and Lazuli, two siblings, two twins. Lapis is the boy, being Android 17, as you will know him, and Android 18 being Lazuli. They get the whole thing like, oh yeah, here's your I guess trade. Here's your infinite key engine. Here's this. Here's that. Western androids they have really good personality, but also engineered mind of battle. And well, because they're engineered mind of battle, plus they have the mind of a scientist. They're brilliant, but they're also engineered for battle. But they also keep their personality, and well, their family died long ago, so they don't really have anyone else to go to. They just need their money, and they took this up. It didn't fail, and they're now students of Jibo and Mark. Mark and Miguel, plus Videl. So, yeah. Mark, Miguel, and Videl. That's the family. So, eventually Miguel does die of, like, a sickness or something. And now Mark raising Videl, but Videl also has Jibo to help her, because Jibo's kind of like her fighting instructor. And Gohan occasionally taught her how to fly. So yeah, now on planet Yarjet, Goku did learn instant transmission, but you memorize every step memorize the basics of every other technique, so he can learn them anytime he wanted to. And Piccolo was also on Yardrat and mastered cloning and gigantification. And Goku told everyone the basics of the other techniques, so they remembered vaguely some of them, but not all of them. While this led to Raditz Raditz ended up learning healing, and he knows the steps of gigantification. Within 3 years, Goku mastered every single technique that the Yardrat had to offer him, and taught a few of them to other Z fighters. Well, Tien and Piccolo, their techniques are pretty similar, so they have learned to go cumulative to their techniques. And Gohan was also very fond of Mr. Piccolo, and trains with Mr. Piccolo constantly as well. Gohan learning gigantification. I thought it was pretty cool because he's a little kid, but yeah. and Videl did learn one thing from Mark, which was what Mark had learned from Goku. Goku kind of thought it'd be good for Mark to learn its transmission, and Videl had learned that from Mark as well. Just in case she was in danger, but she did require her to learn how to sense ki. Gohan already taught her that. But she had to get better at it to use its transmission perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but use it averagely. Now that androids attack, Android 17 and 18, well, their personalities are intact, and they're able to fight a lot better. They're trained in Turtle Hermit style, Saiyan style, everything. So, also they're able to have every single fighting style in the world engineered into their brain. So they taught Goku a few things, but yeah. Now, we basically should go to like when the androids attack. Androids attack, these are multiple different androids. Now, these androids were something that Dr. Jiro had built, and somehow someone set them free. These androids are Android 15. From my notebook with all the stuff I wrote down for it. So these androids were Dr. Jiro's prototypes, or he thought so, until he realized that they were basically in full year. These androids were from the future. Cell was able to free them, and Trunks did not fight 17 or 18. They didn't exist. These were different androids. Yes, they were ribbon, but they were still just different androids. Trunks' own 17 and 18 are. But these androids consisted to be 13, 15, 16. Who isn't Jibo? It's just quite literally just off General Blue. So General Blue, which is now the new Android 16. So 13, 15, 16, 14, 9, and 21. 21 is more or less an exoskeleton with a tail. That's really not an exoskeleton, just basically a steel body with a tail. But it can transform. So yeah. Notes away. I'll keep it. So when the androids attack, this leads to Goku having to fight Android. Goku has to fight Android 13 because Super 13 proved to be too much for everyone. Even Piccolo, who'd grown insanely strong to the point where he's stronger than Raditz. For Goku's powerful, who would have rose to 20 million in his base form, times 50, that would be 100 million, I think. No, let me check this. Okay, the power levels of everyone. So Goku, he actually was able to take medicine constantly. Not like a deadly amount of it, but small doses constantly, to the point where one before the android's attack, his heart virus is gone. And he's also able to help Bulma make a whole different version of the medicine, so they make a lot more money because of it. But yeah, so I'm going to go over power levels individually. Goku 20 million plus his times 50, which would be Super Saiyan. His power level would rest at 1 billion. That was 100 million. That was times 5, not times 50. So 200 billion and 200 billion. 1 billion. Then his Kaioken times his Ikari, which is times 10, would be 10 billion at full power. Now this is exactly in power rankings. Someone's power level may be higher than someone at full power, or they may be more powerful than the person above them. But that's because they can't really stay in their form the longest. That's why they're not called stronger one between the person above them. Piccolo second strongest, being 14 million in base. Then his Super Namekian form times 50, which is 700 million at full power. So he's only equal to full power Goku, not even close to it. Then Raditz, well, with his Ikari form, he spent time on Yard Rat, yes, but he was not focused on Ikari. He kind of lost a little bit of touch with it. He can do it for like 1 minute at most, because he's been focused on other techniques with Piccolo and learning Super Saiyan at that. But Raditz can hang in there a little bit longer, to the point where Piccolo and him may be equals if Raditz doesn't hang on enough. Raditz is at 6 billion full power, 12 million in base, 600 million with Super Saiyan, then times 10, which would be 6 billion with his Ikari. Because Raditz held touch with Ikari for a quick second, but he can get back up to be stronger than Piccolo eventually. And Vegeta is actually weaker than Raditz, because, well, he has Kaioken on top of it, because he had to learn from King Kai, and Kaioken was the result of it, but only times 2. Vegeta in base form is 9 million, then times 50, which is Super Saiyan, 450 million, then times 10 with Ikari, 4.5 billion, then times 2, 99 billion. But Ikari, Super Saiyan, and Kaioken take so much of a strain on his body, we can only do all the above for a few seconds. That is it. So this may kill Vegeta if he does it for more than 1 minute. So Vegeta is weaker than Raditz, because he is there at most 45 seconds before he dies. But this won't kill him if he does it for more than 45 seconds. Well, it won't kill him if he does it less than 45 seconds. 45 seconds, that's something different. Gohan, at full power, 7 billion. base form 7 million, Super Saiyan 350 million, then times 2, Kaioken will be 700 million, then 7 billion. I forgot if I gave Gohan Ikari, but with Ikari 700 million it turns to 7 billion, but I'm pretty sure I gave him Ikari, so 7 billion at full power. And 7 billion because, well, Kaioken and Ikari, like Vegeta, takes so much of a cost on his body. We have Nappa. I'm pretty sure I didn't give him Ikari, but let's say he trained with Super Saiyan or False Super Saiyan too much, a point where he abandoned Ikari completely, and he incorporated Kaioken as well, because Kaioken had a bigger increase if he were to master it, so he abandoned Ikari completely. So Nappa 5 and 5 million in base is 5 million in base. Then False Super Saiyan would jump him up because we have False Super Saiyan a 20 times multiplier. False Super Saiyan brings him up to 100 million. Then he has Kaioken times 2, which is 200 million. So yeah. And then we would have Tien at 20 million in base times 3 with Kaioken would jump him up to 6 million. Then we have Krillin 900,000 times 3 Kaioken 2.7 million. Then Yamcha in base 700,000. Due to Yamcha realizing how weak he is, he began training as hard as possible to catch up with everyone else, which resulted in him having Kaioken times 4, the highest of everyone else. Now, Yamcha Kaioken times 4 can jump to 2.8 million, stronger than Krillin, but not for too long. Then Roshi, with his buffed up form, he taught that to Mark and Launch and Jibo. Roshi 400,000 in base, then buffed up, so 1.5 increase. I'll give him 600,000 for that 1.5. Then Mark, or Mr. Satan, his power level can jump to a 2.5 increase. So 400,000 times 2.5, 1 million. And Jibo is actually equal to Mark, or Mr. Satan. And Launch is equal to Roshi. And you guys are wondering about 17 and 18, they're equal to full power Gohan. They don't have any increases in power, but due to them still being somewhat human genetically, they can kind of mimic the buff up, but doesn't give them as much of a power increase. It more or less just slows them down. But they have increased ki usage and strength increase. They're just a lot slower. And these increases, they're not on the level of Vegeta or anything, but still stronger than Gohan. At best, I'll give them 7.5 billion at full power, which includes the buff ups. But yeah, so the androids that aren't 17 and 18 attacking. So a lot of androids went through the future. This leads to actually 13 overpowering Piccolo, who's Piccolo's second strongest. So now it'd be Super 13 versus full power Goku, which Goku overwhelms him, and everyone seeing full power Goku and feeling the ki, they realize this is not really a person to fight, this is a monster, a demon, you could say. Goku then ends up shooting Super 13 in the air, charging up one giant Kamehameha that made its blue form, and instead had turned white. And this white Kamehameha then turned red, as Goku would call this Kamehameha of anger. And what this does is actually just more or less does burning damage, does similar damage as red Kamehameha, but this is stronger, way stronger than Kamehameha. This pure Kamehameha is the strongest, as when you use pure Kamehameha, whatever is touched by it incinerates in seconds. Pure Kamehameha matches the sun in power, or in heat, actually. For Raging Kamehameha, it can match the sun in heat for a split second, and it has a bigger range than any other Kamehameha. As Raging Kamehameha or Anger Kamehameha hits Super 13, killing him. Then 17 and 18, they end up fighting 15 and obliterate him completely, because, well, these androids are a lot stronger than they were in the future. Then 16, which is General Blue, he ends up fighting Jibo, and Jibo barely kills him. Then we have Android 9, who would end up fighting Roshi, and Roshi's buffs up and punches his head off and kills him. And then we'd have Android 21, who takes out all the humans, and it is left up to, where's my page of humans? And then, here we go. So, the humans are all wiped out by 21, and Nappa eventually is defeated, so is Gohan. And then 17 and 18 are barely able to stay in a fight with them, and they're eventually eradicated. Leaving Vegeta, who's just been sitting by watching, began fighting 21, and he eventually is able to kill 21, and he feels happy about this. Now, they all think it's going to be over. Up until they see someone else climb out of the time machine. The time machine's a lot bigger, around the size of a basic spaceship. like the one that Goku used to get to Namek, around that size. Bulma's a lot smarter, so yeah. So this person works on a time machine, and if they're shocked, it is perfect Cell. Not incomplete Cell, it's perfect Cell. Then the Cell seeing a new 17 and 18, he gets a pretty big smile on his face. Now he attacks everyone to catch them all off guard, but then sees 17 and 18 a weekend, so he absorbs them both, also resulting in Ultra Cell. Ultra Cell will stare down everyone, and they'll begin fighting him. They even team up, and both not working at all. Piccolo's wiped out pretty easily, easier than what Super 13 did to him. And he's able to get a good hit in on Cell, but Cell recovers basically instantly. And then he ends up wiping out everyone, even Raditz and Goku. Raditz and Goku look at each other, and Goku would end up pulling a Senju Bean, throwing one in Raditz's mouth, and eating one of his own, getting an increase, them both jumping. Well, Raditz jumps to 20 million, then Goku would jump up to 25 million. But still, they cannot beat Cell. So, they look at each other again, doing the fusion dance, and fusing, going into Kakarot. Kakarot's like a play on like Ragnarok, because they bring chaos, but yeah. So Kakarot would then start on Cell, going Super Saiyan, topping it off with Akari. Now Kakarot at a power level at full power, I'd put him at probably 1 trillion exactly. So 1 trillion exactly, they've been fighting Cell. This fight seems a little bit more equal. As they begin fighting, still, they're not reaching the same levels as, well, Cell. And generally with this, Cell will charge up one final Ki Blast, and fire it right through Goku's chest. Or attempt to. Someone steps in the way of the Ki Blast, being Vegeta and Piccolo. Piccolo steps in front of it, and, well, he also go through Piccolo, but Vegeta would push Kakarot out of the way, taking the Ki Blast himself. Raditz had a really good bond with Piccolo. Not Piccolo, I mean, with Vegeta, and Goku had a really good bond with Piccolo. With this, both sides are enraged, and being kicking out. We have Gohan, who had a good bond with them both. Piccolo went from Yardrat to Earth, then to the Underworld to pull out Gohan from King Ice Planet, then bring him to Bulma. Piccolo and Gohan spent a lot of time together regardless. Then Vegeta trained Gohan himself as well. So with this, well, Gohan and Goku were the ones going berserk, and Gohan had reached Super Saiyan 2, and so did Kakarot. Both Roar going Super Saiyan 2, and Goku was not first. Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 one minute earlier. So Gohan's the first Super Saiyan 2, Kakarot was the first Super Saiyan. But these two charge up with Kamehameha. This would be, well, a Sun family Kamehameha. They fire it. Well, Sun family. Raditz isn't really Sun family, but he's family nonetheless. So, a family Kamehameha. They fire it, and immediately it erases Cell out of existence. Or, they think it does. Cell's weakened significantly, and every single android is taken out of him. The androids look at each other, and, well, the Trunks timeline 17 and 18 feel the power of their current counterparts and are shocked. But you see Cell's weakened, and Kakarot and Gohan charge towards Cell, and before Cell can self-destruct, Kakarot will grab him and throw him in the air, and Gohan and him will fire a giant Ki Blast, erasing him out of existence completely. Cell's gone, and Goku and Raditz unfuse. As they're unfused, well, that was pretty powerful. But they're both crying over the bodies of Piccolo and Vegeta. Raditz's words to Vegeta's dying body says, no one was more loyal than Vegeta, and it was an honor having him as a subordinate. Vegeta will chuckle, saying, wait till I come back, you bastard, I'll be stronger. Raditz keeps crying and laughing at Vegeta, saying, God damn it, Vegeta. Eventually Vegeta dies, and Piccolo had already passed on. But Gohan just keeps crying and being very emotional. So does Goku. Now, in this one, the person that's basically claimed as like the hero of Earth would be the Z Fighters as a group. You see Goku, who's one of the strongest martial artists in the world. They see his students behind him, and they see other ones plus Roshi and everyone else. They think that Capsule Corp is basically the savior of the world, which puts Capsule Corp with more money, and basically makes every single one of the Z Fighters billionaires. So, yeah. And there's time they had used the Namekian Dragon Balls because Guru did pass away, but Piccolo has Guru's knowledge. So the next reasonable choice for Guru in Piccolo's eyes would be Elder Mori. And he was able to tell Goku find Elder Mori or Mori. Goku's able to find him because he has met him, and able to find out where he is and tell his transmission to him. Now, Elder Mori would ask why Goku's here. Like, oh yeah, what brings you here? Goku talks about Dragon Balls and what happened on Earth, and Elder Mori really apologizes and says it's a sad thing to lose Piccolo, but good thing he can be revived. They use Dragon Balls on Namek because Piccolo's the current guardian, and since he dies, the Dragon Balls die. They use the Dragon Balls on Namek, and they restore Earth to before the androids attacked, and they're able to also restore Earth is the first wish. Second wish, bring back Gohan. Not bring back Gohan. Second wish, bring back Vegeta. Third wish, bring back Piccolo. Piccolo's brought back, and you think Goku. Then Goku would head back to Earth, thanking Elder Mori. Now before he heads back, then they ask Goku, like, wouldn't it be bad if Piccolo would die again in battle? And Goku says, yeah. That's when Dende actually offers to come to Earth to be a guardian. Because Dende currently is the Elder in training. Because he was able to experience Elder Guru and gets potential unlocked by him. So with this, Dende is actually Guru candidate, and Guru's like, Elder Mori is like, are you sure? And that's when Dende's like, yeah, I think I can take it. And Elder Mori would nod saying, Goku, if you want, he can head to Earth and be guardian, while Piccolo can just take as guardian. Not guardian, I mean, as a Z-fighter. Goku would nod, taking Dende to Earth to Piccolo. Piccolo hears what Dende wants, and Piccolo does admit that's a good idea, because if he dies, Dragon Balls will not turn to stone. And they all have 3 wishes, both Dragon Balls on Namek and Earth now. So he's reinserting Dende up until the Buu Saga. The Buu Saga, well, Gohan and Videl will go on 17, Videl maybe 18, but they still get married. And the age range of consent dating is different in different countries. So Videl and Gohan are able to get married. And with this, they're married a lot earlier, and they're still in high school. But Gohan's a genius, and is known as the Prince of Capsule Corp. Goku is basically the king of it, as he rules over it. Dr. Gero and Dr. Briefs are retired. And, Dr. Gero and Dr. Briefs have made retired, and still, they have things to explore. And Panchi tried to tag along with Dr. Briefs and Dr. Gero to basically work as scientists in the Galactic Patrol. But yeah, so I'm going to go over the Z-Fighters. There's Goku. He has well over trillions of dollars, well over trillions of it, like in his own bank account. But then he has Capsule Corp, which is a multi-trillion dollar company. So, yeah. And Piccolo, well, basically he's revealed as the guardian of Earth, and he gets just a lot of praise and prayers plus money. So he's able to get a lot of cool stuff for Lookout that mainly kids like Dende would like. Dende's more like an Earth child, but an average one at that. So Dende is also like an Earth child, but also a Namekian child. Raditz, who's basically just rich, same with Vegeta, Gohan, Nappa. Gohan is Goku's kid in Prince of Capsule Corp, so he's already a trillionaire himself. You have Nappa, who's famous himself, and then we have Tien, who basically opened a worldwide dojo with Mark. Basically, Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, Roshi, Mark / Hercule, unless he goes by, that's a sage name. Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, Roshi, Hercule, Jibo, 17, well not 17 actually, so Jibo and Launch, they all just kind of run a worldwide dojo. And they call it the turtle style dojo. 17 and 18, they more or less work at Capsule Corp, and examples of humans fusing technology. So yeah, in 18, Krillin happened to get married still, but a lot earlier. A month after the Cell thing happened, 17 and 18, the future and current counterparts fuse together. With the help of the Earth Dragon Balls, of course, they fuse together, making Super 17, but keeping the appearance of Basic 17. And Super 18 keeps her current appearance. So, yeah, just the thing is they're now equal to full power Piccolo. Not full power Piccolo, full power Raditz. Which, I guess the better thing would be Vegeta, but full power Vegeta is what they're currently at. This full power Vegeta can now outmatch Raditz and Piccolo. So yeah, Goku's still the strongest with his power level in base form, now being at around 800 million. So, I'm not going to go over anymore, I'm just talking about their base power levels, then you guys can do the math for their Kaioken's and their Ikari's and their Super Saiyan 1s, 2s. So yeah. Now, Goku's body is a lot more durable as, well, it's just durable. And he's somewhat able to do not a modified version, but a kind of like a backup version, or not backup version, but a different version of the Infinite Ki engine. It basically he puts it in a pill, and when you eat it, your ki it basically doubles temporarily. There's no side effects. He just can do it. And when he eats that pill, he's able to go Super Saiyan 3. This pill is kind of like a rumble ball. That's what it is. They're kind of like rumble balls, but for ki. And all Z fighters have at least 12 of them. And Korin actually went on for making senzu beans to now that's Dende's job. And it begins being able to form these pills that give half the benefits of senzu beans. They're able to stop the bleeding and somewhat close wounds, but then the wound has to do it itself by nature. And it cuts the healing time in half, basically, what it does. When you break your arm, and it has to heal for 5 months, the months can be dropped down to 2 or 3. So yeah. Now, Goku, Raditz, and Piccolo had mastered spirit control, and the other ones that went to King Kai's world, they had mastered Kaioken and everything. Vidal's power level currently is in the 100,000s herself, and she's insanely strong individually. So yeah. But I don't know what else.
You have no idea how dangerous that thing is.
I don't know.
Did nothing of what that maniac had enacted upon the world.
I guess we would have like just the Buu saga. In the Buu saga, we basically just have we'd have just the tournament. Then comes the punching machine. Well, Goku's first, and him simply poking it with a decent amount of strength shatters it. So Goku's not allowed to be a competitor. He is now he has to be a more or less a judge. And every single one of the Z fighters pokes it, it shatters, which leads to basically Goku, Piccolo, and Vegeta being the ones that have to be judges. So yeah, and the King Kais are not the King Kais. The Supreme Kais are Supreme Kai, Shin, and Kai and training Kibito. They're shocked at Goku's raw power. They can feel it, and it's amazing. And Goku, Raditz, and Vegeta and Gohan all have Super Saiyan 2. All you have Nappa, who mastered Kaioken to a different, not mastered, but he had Kaioken to a different degree, so he can reach their Super Saiyan 3 level. Not Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 2 levels. Well, no one knows a Super Saiyan 3 because Goku doesn't really show it off. But yeah. Now, eventually, when Videl fights against Bovich is abused. It's not even a fight, it is quite literally just her breaking his body over and over and over. When Yamato tries to interfere, she quite literally just pimp slaps him into the ground, and Videl's just all powerful. So yeah. Now, even if Shin wanted to God bind Videl, it's just she can just literally flex her ki and send Yamu flying. So it doesn't really matter. But Babidi had sensed his ki and being able to infuse it into Buu's egg. And then the final fight of the tournament is going to be Vegeta. No, Vegeta's the judge. So it'd be, let's say, Raditz versus Gohan. Now, Gohan actually surpassed Raditz, and he's the third strongest Z fighter. Fourth being Raditz, and fifth being Piccolo. But Gohan powered up to full power, and immediately charged up Buu's egg to 100%. Shin knew this, because he sensed Buu being unleashed. But then he sensed, we saw Raditz go all out, and these two being clashing. I say clash, well, it's a pretty great fight. Raditz was able to learn Kaioken straight from Vegeta, and he didn't need Gohan's help with it. And Vegeta was able to actually help Raditz push Kaioken higher than Gohan did. So, these two, well, they're pretty high levels. But yeah. Now, Ki Blast is fired right, well, they fire Ki Blast at each other. And they're able to somewhat hold them both back. But as they hold them back, suddenly a pink figure appears, punching the Ki Blast apart. Goku's a little confused, so he realizes how powerful this is, and pulls out a capsule, looking at Vegeta and Piccolo, as Goku presses a button in the capsule, and a closet appears behind them. They reach into it, and they pull out their uniforms, and they swiftly change into it, as they do the whole flashing where they spin around or something, and then they're in their outfits. So, yeah. Now with this, we'd go on and they fight Buu. They all lose to Buu, but Buu finds Goku and Mark pretty fun. Mark in personality, Goku in power. Now with this, we have 17 and 18 being going in because they learned Kaioken. They doesn't really strain their bodies because they're part android, they're part robot. Doesn't really matter. So Kaioken, they will fight Buu even longer and push Kaioken higher. Eventually, this leads to like Super Buu being unleashed. Well, first Evil Buu and Fat Buu, then Super Buu. Super Buu absorbs the androids and absorbs everyone that isn't Goku, Piccolo, Raditz, and Gohan. So yeah, Gohan is in his Great Saiyaman outfit, and then they came in Videl like, this is Great Saiyaman 1, or no, this is Great Saiyaman, and then Videl made her own identity as Power Woman. It was very individual. It was very, very, very on a whim. But yeah, Power Woman and Saiyaman, the superhero couple. But yeah. Now we just have Goku, Piccolo, and Raditz and Gohan fighting Super Buu, and they're being obliterated. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan gets the better of them, and then we have Goku who's being beaten, and before he's absorbed, suddenly Goku swallowed something. Something fell out of something and swallowed it. Now Super Buu kind of thought it was like a piece of rubble and called Goku an idiot, so everyone noticed his power had been growing. Now these power balls, I'm gonna call them that, they're not supposed to be consumed if your ki was decently high. It's supposed to be if you're a low thing. Goku's body began kind of like just getting a little bit more muscular, his eyes kind of turned pale, and suddenly he had roared as his ki grew higher than Super Buu. He jumped out going Super Saiyan 3, and he's going berserk as well. He began obliterating Super Buu, punching every single thing out of him, every single person. Super Buu was punched in the air, and Shin was realizing this. Super Buu was being killed. Suddenly Kamehameha was fired, and it's a pure one. This pure one was more unstable because Goku was not pure heart currently. He's going berserk. This ki blast erases Buu clean out of existence. So yeah. Now with this basically being erased, we basically just see Goku. Goku's still going berserk, but suddenly his body his mouth he spits out blood and throws up blood and then falls over unconscious. Now this is when Korn appeared saying, "You're using power balls, huh, kid? Huh. You shouldn't use them when you have that much power left." Goku chuckles saying, "Sorry, Korn." Korn helps Goku up to his feet, and Korn basically just felt the power and knew what it was. So he wanted to lecture Goku real quick and make fun of him. And then they appeared by just Goku, with him and Piccolo teaming up to heal him. And, well, Goku's back to full power, with a bit of a Zenkai. The Zenkai pushes full power to be around about 1.9 billion. And a week of training pushed that to 2 billion. But, yeah. Now you go to the Buu Saga. The Buu Saga, well, happens to be having a more lavish birthday. Well, Goku was able to find a small island and rent it out. Well, not rent it out, he bought this whole damn island. Well, it wasn't a small island either, it was a pretty big one actually. But he was able to buy it, and the Bulma's birthday party is there. It's more like their vacation home. Or island. Now, when Beerus appears, he appears on the birthday party, and we see first he found Gohan and beat Gohan, but Gohan was very strong. This pushed Beerus to 60% of his power. It was Ultimate Gohan. Just Gohan offered training with the Kais, because Goku said no, Piccolo said no, everyone said no except for Gohan, and Gohan unlocked Ultimate form there. Because he broke the Z-Sword by accident, unleashing Elder Kai. Elder Kai is like, oh, I'll push you to full power. And give Gohan Ultimate form. Ultimate form Gohan. Well, he had recently gotten it, so Beerus wasn't really doing too much. Well, not Beerus. Gohan wasn't doing too much with Ultimate, and Beerus was able to be pushed to 60%. And Gohan had warned him about Vegeta, Raditz, and Goku, saying just be warned, if two of them fuse, you're gonna lose. Those who are stronger than me fused, or they're bleeding stronger than me fused. As she doesn't use Beerus saying, so there's no Super Saiyan gods, but there's a fusion that could beat me, I guess. Whis, let's go. They head to Earth on the power levels where they're all gathered, the strongest ones at least. And you see Gohan in his transmission saying, I kind of thought this would take you guys longer to get here. Gohan was in his normal clothing, and he looked at Videl saying, sorry I'm late. He apologized to his mother. And well, you see Bulma kind of just sitting on Goku's leg as he is just kind of like looking at Beerus, questioning who he is. And Kai's like, Goku, this is Lord Beerus, God of Destruction. Goku's like, Bulma, get off real quick. Bulma stands up, Goku about to Beerus saying, hey, it's nice to meet a deity, and, well, I'm like to question what you're doing here. Gohan explains the Super Saiyan God quest, and Goku immediately says, well, there's no Super Saiyan gods here, but we're all individually strong, like stronger than the Kais at least. So I guess we can be considered like Super Saiyan gods. Beerus says, that's not how it goes. You have to have God Ki. Goku would say, what's God Ki? Beerus explains it, like he can't really sense it, and Goku would say, the Kais aren't gods. They're kind of just people, like kind of like weird looking people that live in a different realm. Beerus would sigh, saying, his points agitate me. Whis would say, they agitate me as well, Lord Beerus. But with this, basically, Beerus will fight Goku, deem him really strong, because Goku could use a Power Ball they can actually control now. And when he uses Power Ball plus his Super Saiyan 3 infused with the Kari, Beerus is actually being pushed to, well, Goku's on the level he is in Super Saiyan God, canonically, when he first fights Beerus. And he's not using Super Saiyan God Ritual. Pause real quick. Alright, so Beerus is actually impressive to everyone, even the humans. 17 and 18 also proved very impressive because they're still on the level of full power Gohan. So yeah, even Ultimate Gohan. They train constantly. Mainly 17 because he works at Capsule Corp. 17 and 18 both do. And Krillin works as chief of security. Plus both 17 and 18 also work at a dojo per time. But Krillin's also chief of security at Capsule Corp. So they all make bank. So yeah, now we basically just have Goku. Goku actually just hear about Super Saiyan God Ritual from Shenron, because they do use Dragon Balls to hear about that. Because Beerus was still curious about it, because there's no God Ki involved. Shenron tells him how to do it. That leads up to Goten, who is alive in this one, Trunks as well. So Goku being catalyst for Super Saiyan God, being infused by Raditz, Nappa, Gohan, Raditz, Nappa, Vegeta, Gohan, Raditz, and Goten. They infuse their ki into Goku, and the ki infused with Goku. As one about Trunks, Trunks is the son of Vegeta and Chi-Chi. They can think of a name, and Bulma thought of one, and they're like, fine, we'll go with that, because why not? And but Chi-Chi didn't want the name Vegeta going around twice, so yeah. But yeah. Now as before the ritual, this leaves the Beerus like kind of talking about like the whole like, oh yeah, there's supposed to be a fusion that can beat me. There's Gohan, and Goku and Raditz say, we don't really want to fuse. And then Beerus like, fine, you guys gotta pass this once. But before the ritual's done, that's immediately what Trunks would yell, wait, how about this? So you guys fuse, then we do the ritual on you. I can take the place of Raditz. Goku and Raditz just sigh, saying, fine, we'll be stronger anyway. They fuse into Kakarot, and then they step in place, and the ki goes into them, making Super Saiyan God Kakarot. Then immediately they've been fighting Beerus, and this pushes Beerus to 96%. They keep fighting until Beerus is found in the ground by this martial artist Kakarot, and Kakarot's getting accustomed to the power they're using, and accustomed to Beerus' martial arts. And then Beerus begins using different martial arts, and they're still getting accustomed to it. So Beerus is pushing 99%, and suddenly the Kais actually interfere, yelling, stop! As they look around, seeing planets destroyed, and the universe cracking under pressure of this battle. We see Zeno and Daishun appear, saying, what's the meaning of this? No, this immediately would confuse Kakarot when they suddenly defuse and pass out. Beerus is panting and sweating, and says, sorry, Lord Zeno, this was a sparring match, or, well, this was a duel. And Daishun come look at Goku and Raditz, saying, this looks more like a handicap match, other than a duel. So Beerus would say, sorry, my Oracle officially told me about a legend of Super Saiyan God, and they had fused, and they still weren't strong enough, but the fusion was stronger than them individually, so here we are. They fused, and they fought me in Super Saiyan God formed. They fought me when they used Super Saiyan God. Daishun says, Zeno, you don't seem mad, you seem more amused. He says, oh, I was kind of mad that the universe was being torn apart without me saying so. He's like, sorry, sir, we didn't realize what was going on until the Kais told us. You see Goku opening one eye, and he actually is able to wave his hand around, actually grabs Zeno by accident, but Zeno doesn't know what's going on. Zeno says, sorry, pulls out his hand, and puts a bubble around Goku and Raditz's neck, on their head, and they're able to breathe in space. Goku pulls his hands away, realizing Beerus is bowing and bows, saying, sorry, Lord. And Dashkan's like, Zeno, and I am Grand Priest. You shouldn't be a Saiyan. Saiyans don't seem to be the most noble people, but you seem different. Goku would say, I was raised as a human. And this is when Dashkan's like, interesting. They examine planet Earth, and Zeno loves the food there. And he says, this food's good. Beerus like, I know, right? And Zeno's like, you'd have passed on that, Beerus. Beerus would look at Whis, and Whis is like, interesting, Beerus. Dashkan tastes some of the food, and Sandy deems it amazing as well. Sandy deems the mortals of this universe insanely powerful. Even Mark, who's one of the weaker ones, including Launch, Videl, and Jibo, their power levels are all surpassing 1 million. When Dashkan's like, yeah, these people are exceptionally powerful, then Oz says, Earth being so kind. All of you are my friends. That would include Goku, Piccolo, Raditz, Vegeta, Gohan, Nappa, Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, Roshi, Mark, Jibo. Launch, Mark, Roshi, Jibo, Yamcha, Krillin, Tien, Nappa, Vegeta, Gohan, Raditz, Piccolo, Goku, 17 and 18, then Videl, Goten, Trunks, Bulma, everyone related to the Z Fighters, everyone. Now, with this, basically, everyone's just kind of going along with this. They can't really deny a god's friendship. And Beerus' job was dropped alongside Whis and Daishinkan. They made friends with tons of people, over 10. And actually offers them to visit his palace because it's really nice. Daishinkan's a little worried, like, sir, are you sure? And Zeno's like, you do what I say. And Daishinkan's like, alright, fine. Brings them all to the palace, and they're amazed. Goku began examining everything, even reading a few books that Zeno had, when Zeno said yes. And quickly he memorized every single one of them. Daishinkan realized this and was shocked. His memory was that good. And Daishinkan actually wanted to spar with Goku, and they began fighting. But Kakarot eventually had to come out and play, using Super Saiyan God, as they were able to master the way the ki flowed and how it was used, and they were able to bring out their God ki. As Kakarot would fight Daishinkan, well, eventually they split. The fusion was split, but Raditz and Goku are both in Super Saiyan God still. They chuckle, fist bump, and keep on fighting. And Goku's actually able to memorize a lot of the martial arts Daishinkan was using, or recognize some of them, then memorize one of the new ones. Martial art very, very, very specific to angels. It's actually shocked Daishinkan that he's able to memorize these weird movements. And then, Raditz, he memorized a lot of martial arts that Goku was using, including Beerus's. And when Raditz began using this martial art, Daishinkan's even more amazed and says, "Wow, you two are amazing!" Like, actually expressing emotion when saying this. Goku and Raditz bow, and Vegeta says, I guarantee you if me and Kakarot were able to fuse, we'd be stronger. Daishinkan hears this saying, really? You two fuse then. They fuse, as Vegeta does in the fusion dance. They fuse, and Gogeta is formed, being stronger than Kakarot. Gogeta and Daishinkan fight, and Daishinkan does admit they're all their way stronger, but Kakarot has a bit more of technique to it, because Raditz had memorized a lot of techniques Goku was using. So, yes, in raw power, Gogeta was the way to go, but in just pure talent, it was Kakarot that should be fighting. If they ever need raw power, they know fusion to go to. So yeah, fusions have their advantage, and Goku kind of hates fusing now because he has to fuse with two different people. So yeah, now with this, basically we would have Daishinkan and telling Beerus or telling Whis and Beerus to train the humans and the Z fighters, basically all the Z fighters, and they do just that. Beerus actually is a lot more involved since it's a direct order from above him. So this, he finds a suitor, finds someone suitable to actually being the next god of destruction, and the person that wants to. Goku had no interest in it, because, well, there's no gain besides reputation. He didn't really care about that. So, he said no. Even if it involved immortality, still no. So the person to take this up is actually going to be Piccolo. Vegeta actually agreed with what Goku had said, saying there's no game besides reputation. I don't care about that. Because he's already has a pretty good reputation on Earth and on Namek. So there's no other need for any kind of reputation. Well, this leads to him saying no, and Piccolo accepting, saying, sure, I can already live a long time as well, and then you can train me a lot more, and I can be way stronger. But Piccolo is the God of Destruction candidate. So this leads to Piccolo being taken aside and trained by Beerus. So yeah. We have Goku trains harder with Whis, and Daishinkan actually comes down occasionally to train with Goku, or see how he's growing and train him for a bit, like a few hours at most. But now we'd go to the Resurrection F. I'm kidding. This is basically kind of a test for myself, and yeah, so to say. I was thinking this earlier unless Frieza died, but I thought it'd be fun to mention it. Resurrection F would not happen. Cooler's non-canon. King Cold had died alongside Frieza. The whole Frieza force was annihilated. There's no need to use Resurrection F. They are all dead. And one doesn't exist canonically. So, you basically just have Resurrection F, non-usable, and everyone proceeds to train with Whis and everyone else. Whis actually is not bothered by this because they're all really fun to be around. And Goku is actually a pretty excellent cook. So, this works out. Because Goku read some of the cookbooks that Zeno had. And plus, Daishingan had a few books that Goku hasn't read. So, Goku's able to cook meals that no one had ever even heard of. So, this is even more amazing for Beerus because Goku's using meals from different dimensions. Well, not dimensions, but different universes. Which, Beerus is... he loves Goku so much. So does Whis. So, yeah. Now we go to the Universe 6 tournament. In that tournament, well, with this, he doesn't really... Well, when Champa does arrive... He realizes some people are training under Whis, and Vados and Champa are confused by this. And they realize that Beerus is training on Namekian himself. Champa says, if you're getting so old, you need to have someone to train with you, and have a candidate. But Champa says, Champa's in shock when Beerus says, no, this is in order to train these guys under Zeno and Daishinkan. I'm like, wait, what? That's when Beerus is like, our mortals are so strong, Zeno wants them to train under us. And, well, plus, our mortal levels have gone up. The Frieza Force doesn't... Like, he basically describes how the mortal levels have gone up because the Frieza Force doesn't exist. A lot of races were able to come back from the brink of extinction, giving the mortal levels in Universe 7 barely scraping average. So, this is pretty helpful. So, yeah. And Granola was aware that the Saiyans had wiped out the Frieza Force themselves, or at least some different Saiyans. Like, some Saiyans had rebelled against Frieza, and they had saved different planets. Basically just Namek and Earth, but it was still pretty cool that Granola had heard about that. And he didn't go to the heaters about any of this. He's like, okay then, cool. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really have grudge against any of the Saiyans, and Frieza Force is annihilated, so Granola doesn't really do his thing. At least in the future he won't. But, yeah. Now we basically just go to, like, just, Champa saying, well, my mortals are probably stronger. And Beerus like, I doubt it. Seriously, I doubt it. Beerus should calm down due to just the influence of Piccolo, so yeah, that kind of happened. So, with this, we'd basically just have like the Universe 6 tournament, and the fighters would be first. Buu is dead, so there's no need for that. But we'd have just I guess the same fighters. Just there's no. Let me go to the teams. So canonically, it's supposed to be Buu that fell asleep during the written test. More likely, the person that would fall asleep during the written test would probably be Goku. Probably canonically Raditz would fall asleep during the written test. Probably. But everyone else aces it. And Raditz aced whatever part of it he did do. So, yeah. So, Goku and Botamo. Well, Goku annihilates Botamo with a simple punch. Goku had so much force behind it, the shockwave even pushed Botamo out of bounds. And Goku had won. Just do sheer that. Goku versus Frost. Well, Goku was able to fight Frost, and he was able to see the needle, but his skin got grazed by it, and a little bit of the poison had actually tired out Goku, leading to him actually saying he forfeits. So, he lost the match. And then you would go to Piccolo versus Frost. Goku had basically warned Piccolo about the needle, and Piccolo, with his training with Beerus, well, Beerus actually being very involved with the training, Piccolo can use some hints of Hakai. So when Frost got near him with the needle, Frost even at full power, Piccolo just basically used his Hakai aura, and began using super Namekian fuse with it. Even a bit of Kaioken taught to him by Gohan. But this basically Frost is annihilated in one blast. He's erased from history, so to say. And Frost did show his true nature. Vegeta versus Frost is going to be replaced with Vegeta versus Vegeta. We'll just go to Vegeta. Now Vegeta versus Vegeta is now match 4, I'd say. So yeah, match 4. No, match 3 actually. I think match 4. It's match 4. So match 4, Vegeta versus Auto Vegeta. Now, Vegeta quite literally puts his hand on Vegeta's chest and blows a hole clean through it, with just sheer power. And he wins it by killing Vegeta. Then Vegeta versus Kaba. Kaba is still had to go Super Saiyan by Vegeta. And Vegeta beats the hell out of him. Then Vegeta versus Hit is able to beat Vegeta. And then instead of Goku versus Hit, it is going to be Raditz versus Hit. And Raditz is the one to make the Goku kind of imprint on Hit. So, yeah. Then there'd be no other... Yeah. Goku beats Hit, so there's no Monaka versus... Not Goku, right? Raditz beats Hit, there's no Monaka versus Hit. And Zeno appears, saying the battle's pretty fun. And says he may have a tournament later. And no one advises the tournament to happen. All they say is like, it could be interesting. Raditz like, it could be fun. And, yeah. And Goku, well, Zeno's friends with all of them, so their opinions are heard by Zeno. But maybe, but could be potentially dangerous because we have kids that we don't want to lose, and does value their opinions himself because they are friends. So, yeah. Now, you got to go to the future Trunks arc. Trunks starts in the future with his all black hair and glory, and he actually says like, oh yeah, there's a foe about, and this foe being about is Piccolo. Piccolo Black. I'm pretty sure I used Piccolo Black in the What If Goku Would Go Into Potential video. But Piccolo Black because he used Sakai in for Zamasu. And even though Piccolo Black isn't stronger than Goku, Piccolo Black does appear to future Trunks. Goku just literally charges up the Ki Blast in full power. He can go Super Saiyan 3 in base form now, without the use of a Power Ball. He just flicked the Power Ball in his mouth, being able to contain his power. And his hair grew out even more and went kind of just floating in the air going wild. This would be like his Super Saiyan 3.5. And tried to Ki Blast right at Piccolo Black. Piccolo Black able to block it, but then Goku just used Super Saiyan God. His hair growing out a bit more, with him being able to mix in Akari, Super Saiyan God, and killing Piccolo Black. His Super Saiyan God form mixed with Akari is somewhat stronger than a Super Saiyan Blue canonically. Not canonically, he's Super Saiyan Blue currently. So with that, he kills Piccolo Black like that, and Trunks was kind of ashamed, but did mention Zamasu, who Goku would say, fine, I'll handle it. And he basically grabs Piccolo Black's body, and he's warped right into future Trunks' timeline. When Trunks arrives there with Piccolo, Raditz, and Vegeta and Gohan, I have to pause. So with this, basically we would have the when everyone arrives, basically just Piccolo, Raditz, Vegeta, Gohan, and Trunks. When they arrive, well, they see Goku basically abusing Zamasu, actually apologizing and saying, "Please let me go." But his words are not heard. Goku's just saying, how dare you harm this timeline? And Zamasu's damage had not been done too much, and half the planet is damaged. But they had just gotten to the clean half, which is the side Trunks is on. But yeah, so everyone sees Zamasu being beaten, and we see the Street Fighters cheering on Goku. That they do know he's the future Goku. He's the past Goku. Eventually, Goku throws Zamasu in the air, and our Piccolo grabs him. And Piccolo had a little bit more training with Beerus, and is able to use Sakai somewhat averagely. And Piccolo's able to use Sakai to Kai Zamasu out of existence. But let's take up every single ounce of Piccolo's ki, and he passes out, almost dying. But Goku catch Piccolo, and they retreat back to the past. Everyone thanks them, and yeah. Now they leave, and well, I guess the next arc will probably be like let me check. I guess it'd be the Tournament of Power. That's really what's next. But there's no cost of the universe being erased. And with that, basically it's like, well, whoever loses will have a punishment, but not being erased. Now, with this, basically, people do still see Goku as the villain because he's the one that Zeno says is his friend. He's the one that Goku, like, he's the one that gets brought up first because Zeno liked Goku more. Because Goku knew how to treat the god, but also knew how to treat his friends. So, with a mixture of godly and friendly treatment, Zeno was like, he's really nice and cool. Zeno likes Goku a lot more than he does in canon. So yeah. Now, at the exhibition match, no one's kind of booing at Goku or getting disgusted by him. But with this, basically, Goku doesn't want to daggers at him, so he stares up at them, saying, "You all hate me this much. How about you all come down here and I beat the hell of every single one of you individually?" Hell's yells, saying, "Who does this mortal think he is? I should kill him right here and now, or Hakai him." Goku appears behind her, chopping him back to the neck, and everyone knows he went unconscious. Looks around, saying, "Alright, who's next?" And immediately Zeno says, "Ooh, more mortals versus destroyers. Seems fun." Goku would jump down, saying, "No, it's just Goku versus destroyers. Now, who's next?" Immediately Toppo appears in front of Goku, but he's shocked to see his punch blocked by Piccolo. And Piccolo would say, How about this? Goku versus destroyers, and Piccolo versus a destroyer candidate." Piccolo would roar using Hakai, and you see Toppo using his Hakai as well. Toppo and Piccolo begin fighting, and Piccolo proves to be the stronger opponent, knocking out Toppo. Belmont will jump down attacking Piccolo, but Goku just clotheslines him, and begins going Super Saiyan Blue, and eating a Power Ball, being able to mix in being able to mix in Hikari mode, or his Hikari form, then pushing Super Saiyan Blue to Beyond Blue with a mixture of Hikari. Goku immediately went berserk, and the destroyers began attacking Goku, while he's defeating all of them left and right. But eventually it takes a lot of them combined to defeat Goku, or at least hold him back until the Power Ball wears off. Piccolo was sweating as well because he fought some of them. We see Goku sweating as a lot of the destroyers are covered in blood and bruises. Frieza laughs, saying, "And I'm stronger than that mortal still." All the destroyers are shocked. In reality, he's not. He's just wanting to say that to piss them off. And the humans of Universe 7 know this, or at least the ones that fight know this. And now all the destroyers know what Goku, that's what they assume Beerus could do to them. Now, with this, basically, Zeno says, that was fun. I guess the tournament can still go on. But Goku and Piccolo, you guys aren't allowed to be fighters. Goku and Piccolo nod, knowing this would be pretty unfair, because Goku fought tons of destroyers at once and almost won. Piccolo basically beat a few of them, but mainly just like Belmod. He beat like Belmod and Sidra. That's really it. But Goku and Piccolo are mainly referees. So Goku and Piccolo are given referee outfits referee parodies of their gis. And then when the tournament would start, first off, Jiren would want to know why Goku and Piccolo are the ones that aren't fighting, even though they're mortals as well. And Belmod would say, "Jiren, don't question him." But Jiren would see the bruises on every single one of the destroyers, and see the bruises on Goku and Piccolo, saying, "Let me guess, these two beat the hell out of all the destroyers, huh?" Belmod would say, "You don't phrase it like that, Jiren." Toppo would say, "Yes, Jiren, that's very correct." Toppo would say he went full power, and Piccolo still beat him effortlessly. Which now the Pride Troopers are a little more weary because Toppo and Jiren are both strong, but there's two stronger mortals in front of them. This Piccolo, I'm telling you right now, could fight Jiren unless Jiren would go beyond his limits. But Jiren requests to fight Piccolo and Jiren fight, and Jiren is beaten very swiftly because Piccolo goes all out from the start. So yeah, now Jiren didn't get the chance to go full power or go beyond his limits, so he lost very swiftly. And Piccolo's still sweating, and then the fight would start. Universe 7 rapes every universe easily. It is not even a competition. It is basically Universe 7 saying who can abuse the other side more. That's what it is. That's really what it is. So by the time they're done, the MVP, well, not the MVP, the team captains being Goku and Piccolo. Those are the two captains because they're basically just like from Universe 7. So Goku just says he's the team captain and makes the wish to make sure, basically just heal every single fighter here to their full ability. And every universe is shocked by this. And the one that taught Caulifla how to go beyond her limits was Raditz this time, because Raditz takes a more Goku approach than canonical Goku, because canonical Goku doesn't exist here. It is just Son Goku who's a genius, and Raditz takes the Son Goku approach on everything. So yeah, Raditz is basically just a stronger Goku, or stronger canonical Goku. And not as dumb, but yeah. Now with this, we'd move on to the Moro arc, And Jocko does fight Moro a bit, and Moro does deem he deems Jocko pretty strong, but not strong enough, because like I said before, Jocko trained with pretty sure this in the beginning. I don't know if this was in this video or the recording I had before this one, but Jocko did train with a young Goku briefly. Jocko's power levels kind of double what it is in canon, but still, Moro ended up beating him, and then now moves on to Goku, saying he'll handle this. Because Dr. Brief's called upon Goku, and like I said before, Dr. Gero works in space now with the Galactic Patrol, alongside Dr. Gero. Dr. Gero had unleashed his cell at Moro, and Moro just absorbed every ounce of energy Cell had, and then eventually killed Cell. But yeah. And if you guys heard that right, Cell, he's a member of the Galactic Patrol. But he's always basically in cryosleep constantly. And then this Moro just killed Cell. And this Moro's already basically as strong as Goku now. So Goku would approach Cell and Goku alone. Moro and Goku begin fighting, and as these two begin fighting, well, Moro's pushing his powers, Goku's pushing his own, and Goku has an advantage against him because Moro cannot use Akari, or know how to use it. So with this, Moro is eventually being pushed back by Akari Goku, but begins absorbing some of the power, so Goku would eat a Power Ball. And now Moro's confused, because this Power Ball key doesn't go to Moro, it stays in Goku. So Goku to roar, going into his Akari Super Saiyan Blue, and Moro is basically erased from history by Goku. Or at least his midsection is erased from history. Goku annihilates that with the Kamehameha. So yeah, Moro's basically just burned in half. And the Kais will take his body, and yeah. Now Granola does not wish to be the strongest universe. Instead, he just fights the Heaters and wins, because they're trying to lie to Granola saying Frieza was alive. But yeah, Granola basically wanted to know where the Saiyans were, and that was it. They lied to him, was saying they were here, and Granola killed them all. Barely, but he did. Yeah, this basically end this What If. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe, comment from their part. Well, not from their part, but comment if I should go over some of the movies that happen, like Super Broly. Comment if I should go over that. Or if I should go over any other movies if I watch them. But goodbye.